Her name is Joanna, and the state starts off asking her about her plea deal.
I pled guilty to tampering with evidence.
Originally, you were charged with capital murder. Is that
okay? Now, I want to break some things down to you. I don't know if I'm guessing I didn't follow this closely, but if it looks like that this happened in Texas. Now, a lot of people, they say capital murder in Texas, it holds the penalty of life without parole, and then they stop. In Texas, that is not the case. You face the death penalty as well. So, yeah.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you worked out a deal where you ultimately pled to the offense of tampering with evidence. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what the range of punishment is for that offense?
Yes, 2 to 10 years, possible fine up to $10,000 if the offense occurred on or after September 1.
Just regarding line 3, do you know what the state's recommendation?
Okay, I don't know if y'all seen this, but, you know, for people that are not from Texas, they're going to pronounce it Bexar County, but it's Bexar County. That's the area of San Antonio.
Your punishment would be?
Yes, ma'am. 10 years deferred adjudication on the offense of tampering with evidence.
And then regarding line 4, what did the state ultimately do with the pending capital murder charge?
The state will dismiss the pending capital murder charge against your client at the time of.
And this plea agreement was made to you.
Just know if you do a crime with a female, 9 times out of 10, they're going to flip, especially if they got kids. So be aware of who you decide to do crimes with. I'm not trying to give advice, but I'm just saying if you get what I'm saying. Do it by yourself. Don't do it with other people.
In exchange for what?
Truthful testimony.
And have you been on bond in your case since that date?
Yes, ma'am.
So did you catch that? Joanna originally had the same charge as Tay-K, capital M. But in exchange for her testifying in this trial and pleading guilty to tampering with evidence, the state has agreed to dismiss the capital M charge and recommend 10 years deferred adjudication.
That's what happens. And that's how they get them to flip. That's how they get them to flip, ladies and gentlemen.
Which basically means they've agreed to defer or delay Joanna's conviction for 10 years. And as long as she don't cause no problems at the end of this 10 years, she's all good. Next, the state starts asking Joanna about her relationship with Tay-K.
And how old were you in 2017?
18.
Did you know how old Timur McIntyre was at that time?
No, he just said that he was
Why they put Taylor Swift?
18.
Were you in a relationship with Timur McIntyre?
So he says.
And how would he refer to you as?
His girlfriend.
During this time in April 2017, what were you doing for work?
I was an entertainer. I did work at the strip club.
What happened? What happened? What happened? When did you do that? Because the way you looking right now, child, I can't see it.
From ages 18 until probably 20, 23.
And then they transition into what led up to the day of the incident, April 23rd, 2017.
Now I want to talk to you about Mark Saldivar. Did you know him?
No, I just knew him on Instagram.
At some point in April 2017, did you come into contact with Mark Saldivar?
Yes, through Messenger.
Okay. Is that on Instagram?
Yes, ma'am. Timur wanted to make an album cover for his new song.
Specific.
Why you crying, man? You finna get out. What you crying for? You still in love with the man? Probably so. That's why you crying right now, because you got on the stand and you said, so he says. But look at you crying. Nobody wanted to see them tears.
Why did you reach out to Mark Saldivar?
For that photo shoot.
Now, why was Mark Saldivar picked as the person to do the photo shoot?
Because he was offering to do it at low cost or no cost at all.
Do you know what the plans regarding you were for the photo shoot? What were you supposed to be doing?
I was supposed to be in lingerie and with props of guns and marijuana and with a mask also.
Making the plans for the photo shoot, who was communicating with Mark?
It was me and Timur.
Whose phone was he using?
Mine.
So at some point, did Mark Saldivar agree to be the photographer for this photo shoot?
Yes, he did.
And then Joanna gets into what happened that day. And just for context, as you're watching, Joanna says she was with 3 people that day: Tamor McIntyre, aka Tay-K, Jalen Bell, and Jeremiah Rodriguez. And apparently she really was wearing a blonde wig.
Do you recall how your hair was on that day?
I was wearing a blonde wig.
And what did you have planned to do that day?
Just a photo shoot.
And who were you with for the photo shoot?
Tay-K and Jalen and Jeremiah.
Do you know if Mark Saldivar had anything with him when he got into your vehicle?
He had a bag with him, his camera.
Who was sitting in the driver's seat at that time?
I was.
Who was sitting in the front passenger seat at that time?
Tamor.
Who was sitting directly behind you at that time?
Jeremiah.
And who was sitting in the middle of the back seat?
Jalen.
And who was sitting directly behind Tamor?
Mark.
Mark was sitting directly behind Tamor?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And so after you picked up Mark Saldivar, where did you guys go?
He asked us if we could reschedule for the day and if we can give him a ride to North Star. So I agreed and I said, okay, that's fine. We hit the light at McCullough and Tamor took out his gun and pointed it at Mark and asked for his bag. Mark refused to give him the bag. So they all started hitting him and Tamor was hitting him with the gun. And the whole time I didn't look back, but when I did, I saw his face. And I started telling them to let him go. And Jalen opened the door and started pushing him out. And he was fighting to get back in the car. And then they didn't let him in the car. So he went around the car and he jumped on the hood. And then the light turned green. He pointed the gun at me and told me to start driving. So I started driving. I didn't know where to go. So I turned into the first place that I saw, which was the Chick-fil-A. Once I turned into the Chick-fil-A, he kept yelling at me to get him off the car. I didn't know how to, so I was just going back and forth really quickly. And then Mark kicked the windshield and Tay-K opened the door and shot him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when you were, do you see the person that shot Mark Anthony Saldivar in the courtroom today?
You.
Yes.
Would you please point to him and identify him by the article of clothing he's wearing?
He's wearing a white shirt.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant, Tamor McIntyre.
Watching people have to identify defendants in a courtroom will always stress me out.
Now, when you all were at that stoplight at McCullough and 410, prior to that, did you have any knowledge of Tamor's intentions to take Mark's belongings at gunpoint?
No, ma'am.
Okay, but then what did you observe occur?
He was robbing him.
After the defendant shot Mark Saldivar in the Chick-fil-A parking lot, where did you go?
He wanted me to keep driving because he didn't want the cops to get there. So he had directed me through the window to drive, and I went down the access road and took the first left and stopped at a Mexican restaurant. I parked the vehicle.
Of course you did. Let me stop. Man.
And then they started getting out of the vehicle, and then I got out of the vehicle, and they were going through the backpack and then also going through his wallet, throwing things out.
Do you recall who got out of the vehicle first?
Tamor? Or no, Jeremiah.
Who got out of the vehicle after Jeremiah did?
Tamor.
Mark Saldivar's belongings. Who did you observe with Mark Saldivar's wallet?
Jalen.
Okay, do you know if there was anything inside of the wallet?
He had got upset because there was only $10.
When you say he got upset, who are you referring to?
Jalen.
They robbed this man and got $10. $10?
Can you please describe to the jury the demeanor of Tamor McIntyre and Jalen Bell at the Mexican restaurant once you all got off the vehicle?
They were kind of going back and forth, and then Jalen applauded him and gave him a high five, and they high-fived each other, and Jalen said he caught your first body.
What? Okay. Right. Right.
Did the defendant, Timur McIntyre, ever make a statement to you about what was contained within the backpack?
Yes. He said there was a roll of condoms, a bottle of lube, and a whole other outfit.
Did the defendant ever make any statements about Mark Saldivar's cell phone?
Jalen, he said he tossed it.
Now, after you all are at the Mexican
What
restaurant,
in the world?
did you all go somewhere after that?
Yes, there's a Starbucks right next door. And we went there while Tamar was on my phone and he got a ride. Jeremiah's house.
And when you all left the motor vehicle there at the Mexican restaurant, did you have any intention of returning back to the vehicle?
No, ma'am.
Where did Jalen and Tamor go from Jeremiah's house?
They said they were getting a lift to Austin.
And did they have any of Mark's belongings when they left?
Yes, the backpack and the camera.
Did you stay the night at Jeremiah's house, or where?
So all this happened behind $10, a backpack, a camera, lube, and a roll of condoms. Oh my goodness.
Did you go after being at Jeremiah's?
No, I begged someone to take me home, which was his dad.
And did you have somewhere to be that next morning?
Yes,
Where was that?
court.
Did you go to court the next morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you had court the next morning. You're involved in a murder on Sunday and
Right.
got court already scheduled the following morning.
The day after the offense, you were in a court with bailiffs. Did you speak out then?
No, I was too scared.
Here we go with the tears.
And after court, where did you go?
To Dallas.
Who were you staying with?
Kayla, Tamar's sister.
Now, shortly thereafter, after the offense occurred, did you learn information that a detective with the San Antonio Police Department was trying to get into contact with you?
Yes, ma'am. His sister Kayla told me to lie to the detective and say that the car was stolen.
When you first
Objection. Oh, the plot thickens.
spoke with the detective and told him that the car was stolen, did you make an appointment to speak with him in person?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever show up to that appointment?
No,
Why not?
because the day before they made me work at the club at Temptations, and that night when I fell asleep, they stole everything out of my bag, my money, my ID, my social, everything.
At some point, did you leave Dallas, Texas?
Yes,
Where did you go from Dallas, Texas?
Odessa.
Did you choose to speak out then?
No,
And then ultimately, when you were in Odessa, were you arrested for a warrant?
yes, ma'am.
Did the defendant ever reach out
Between that time period and now, she ate a lot of Mexican food.
to you to try to get you to say something specific to the detective?
Yes,
And what was that?
they wanted me to say it was in self-defense.
Objection, Your Honor.
Next up is cross-examination, and Tay-K's defense attorney starts off revisiting Joanna's plea deal. Because if you remember in opening statements, he drove home the point that the people in the car got deals, and that's why they're pointing the finger at Tay-K.
You pled to tampering with evidence, correct?
Correct.
That's a third-degree felony?
Yes, sir.
What is it that they said you tampered with?
The car.
The car?
Yes.
Okay. In exchange for that, you got the capital murder charge pending against you dismissed, right?
Correct.
And you were allowed to remain out on bail this whole time, this past 7.5 years, right?
Correct.
You understand deferred adjudication means that you would not be finally convicted of that felony offense, tampering with evidence, right?
Correct.
And that's how they get you too, because okay, that might be all fine and dandy, but all the other stuff that's involved, you're gonna end up possibly doing time even after the 10 years.
Correct.
Which means that if you successfully complete your deferred adjudication, you can petition a court to non-disclose the record, right?
Correct.
Meaning that other than police and perhaps the judge, the members of the general public that might want to employ you or give you an apartment or anything else would not necessarily know that you were ever convicted or never admitted guilt to deferred tampering with evidence, right?
Correct.
The condition for you getting this deal was that you would testify truthfully against Mr. McIntyre, correct?
Correct.
And you understand when they say testify truthfully, that the person who decides whether you're being truthful is the district attorney's office, right?
Correct.
And then he highlights that Joanna is the one who reached out to Mark to book the photo shoot. And apparently Joanna and Mark had interacted with each other before on Instagram.
That night before, there had been a conversation about the photo shoot. Part of that was to promote your career as a dancer, wasn't it?
No.
Okay? You say it was because Mr. McIntyre was wanting an album cover.
Correct.
You contacted Mark through Instagram, right?
Correct.
And Mark had contacted you previously on a different Instagram account of yours, right?
Correct.
And, right?
Correct.
Mark had reached out to you on a prior occasion, and the discussion was about whether he could take nude photographs of you. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And when you looked at Mark's Instagram page, you saw that most of his photography work was of that variety, naked pictures.
Yes.
And because of those things, you had blocked Mark previously, right?
Yes.
And then you had activated a new Instagram account, and that's how Mark got a hold of you on this occasion, right?
I had that account for a while.
Okay, but he resurfaced as an Instagram correspondent
Correct.
on a new account, right?
Correct.
And on this occasion, the discussion was displaying you in lingerie, correct?
Yes.
And so those were the circumstances that were going on during the evening hours of Saturday leading up into Sunday. We're making arrangements to have this photo shoot where you would be in lingerie, correct?
Correct.
When you arrived, he walked out from his house and he got in the car and he saw that it was you, Jalen, Tamor, and Jeremiah, right?
Correct.
And that wasn't something you had explicitly discussed with him before. It was the fact that there'd be other men there, right?
Oh, man, it ain't looking good for you, child.
He knew Tamar was going to be there.
Oh, is he trying to say set up? He's saying she set him up.
You didn't know anybody else was going to be there, right?
We said multiple people.
Okay, when did you tell anybody that?
Would be text.
You have given statements to the police in conjunction with this case, right?
Correct.
And you didn't tell anybody that you had explained to Mark that there would be a bunch of men present at the photo shoot, did you?
No.
Okay. So Mark gets in the car, and immediately, once y'all are rolling away, the photo shoot's called off, right?
He asked to reschedule for a later time that day.
Okay, that's calling off the photo shoot, isn't it?
To reschedule me.
Okay, so y'all were still driving away with him, right?
Correct. He asked for a ride to North Star.
And you told the detective that you were confident Mark's intention was to have sex with you that day, right?
No.
You don't remember telling the detective that?
No.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at your statement to the detective?
We can.
All right, Ms. Reyes, I'm going to give you this transcript. I want you to kind of look it over.
She doesn't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. I don't know who the
I'm just sending you a
author
copy.
is.
Okay.
I'm objecting to lack of foundation. It's not her own
I'm giving
statement.
you a copy of it so you can tell me what it is.
Ah, just like that. Wait, why is her eyes getting big? There's no more tears now. She's scared.
Okay, so what's happening here is the defense attorney wants to show Joanna that she previously told police that she believed Mark was trying to engage with her on that day. She says she didn't tell police that, and so he wants to either refresh her memory by showing her a transcript of her police interview or impeach her, show the jury she's a liar, by showing the video from her police interview. The problem is the transcript that he wants to show her is not an official one. The state is saying, this is not official, you cannot show her this. And so after some back and forth, the judge says, just show her the actual video from the police interview. The defense agrees to show her the video from her police interview, but they want to do it in front of the presence of the jury. The judge is saying, no, show her now. And so this very awkward back and forth ensues.
But see, the problem is the transcript that you're saying that is her transcript, that's not an official transcript. My understanding, if I'm wrong, correct me, my understanding is that is someone that the defense, I guess, hired, or someone that the defense had to take her video statement that she gave to, authorities and have them watch that and do a transcript of it. Am I correct?
Well, yes.
So here's my question to you. Because that transcript is not an official transcript, so you're trying to refresh her memory. So let's assume it doesn't refresh her memory. Then what's going to be the next step?
And then we have the video clipped to the
So
exact
why don't we
transcript.
just show her the video so we don't have to take the jury back and forth outside? So just show her the video.
Your Honor, I understand the court's ruling. We can take back the transcript, and she doesn't have to refer to it. She said she didn't say that on a prior occasion. We have the clip. We'd like that to just be played in front of the jury.
This is what I'm telling everybody. Show her the video. Could somebody please show her the video? Then you all can ask whatever questions you want to ask. All right, show her the video. Let her see the video. What I'm saying is...
No, we're withdrawing the refresh recollection.
Okay.
So now we're actually, if she wants to insist on that, that's fine. And then it's going to come back under 613. Otherwise,
All right.
if she says, okay, I changed my mind after hearing all this, then we can move on.
This is what I'm telling you all.
Does she need to repeat herself?
And I want everybody to hear me and internalize what I'm saying.
Right.
show her her video.
Right.
Somebody put the video on, show it to her. All right, so if someone has her video statement, if you all will please show her her video statement. If you all want to go to the video and specifically show her that portion, then if somebody will go to the video and show her that portion of the video.
Does she really have to dumb it down for these people that make way more money than I do until my channel blows up?
Okay, so everyone, do me a favor. Show her her video.
Your Honor, respectfully, we would object to showing the witness the video outside the presence of the jury.
All right, so I understand what you all are saying. I want you all to internalize what I'm saying. Show her her video. I don't know how many times to say it. Show her her video.
Respectfully, Your Honor, we object to showing her video before the...
All right, objection overruled. Show her her video.
Your Honor, the witness has already testified that she's seen the video. I think that we, at this point, can get to just a simple yes or no, did you say that? And if she denies making the statement, we can publish that portion of the transcript.
Show her the video, please.
Eventually, they show the woman her video, but the video is an hour long. So the trial day just ended because she went off to go watch the video.
Wow.
I guess we'll see how day 6 goes. I don't know.
That's crazy. So, all right.